$200 per month raise for Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI and VA beneficiaries. Is it coming back, or what is this talk about a potential $200 per month raise for these millions upon millions of beneficiaries? I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, the infamous $200 per month raise that we've all heard about so many times now for over 2 years since it was originally introduced way back in early 2020. Is it actually coming back, or what is the latest talk about a potential $200 per month raise, or possibly even more than that, for the millions of beneficiaries I just mentioned a few seconds ago? Well, I did some digging on this because I wanted to see myself what is all this talk actually about and where is this actually coming from. So let's get into it, as I have some details for you on the $200 per month raise for millions of beneficiaries. Let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video, as I am your one and only daily advocate. I truly want to help you out in any way that I possibly can, which is why I'm doing all this research every single day, breaking it all down into these short videos and bringing you all this information as it pertains to your monthly benefits, Social Security, SSDI, retirement, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, seniors, older adults, people with disabilities, and so much more that we talk about right here on the channel. There's a lot going on right now. Things are changing very, very rapidly. So anytime that I come across anything pertaining to your monthly benefits or anything else like money, checks, stimulus, programs, and anything else like that, of course, I'm right here for you, breaking it all down and helping you out in any way that I can, keeping you updated, and of course, helping you grab as much that you possibly can during this very confusing and of course, very busy time. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into it. All right, so remember this one from over 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been that long now. Back in March of 2020 is when this was originally introduced. Yeah, a very long time. Over 2 years ago, nearly 2.5 years ago, was the last time that we kind of got this thing introduced by those 3 Democratic senators. Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Ron Wyden were the 3 that came out with this original proposal. I think we all remember this one because a lot of us continue to wonder, when is the president going to come forward and actually implement this? As I've seen down in the comment section many, many times, many of you have come out and said the president promised he was going to do this. Well, yeah, that's a totally another story, right? So anyway, well, as of recently, there's been some new information coming out saying $200 per month raise for all the beneficiaries. All right, let me stop for just a second here. As it pertains to this original proposal that came out 2.5 years ago, let's just call it, when it comes down to that one, I've mentioned this before in previous videos, I would not count on that one happening, okay? I'm just being honest with you right now. Please don't be upset with me. I'm the messenger. I'm doing the research on this stuff. I was looking at that one. When it comes down to that proposal from 2.5 years ago or whatever, I seriously would not count on that, okay? I would not count on that one being approved. I would not count on that one actually being implemented. At the time, it was a great thing. They dragged their feet on that one. They didn't do anything about it. Therefore, here we are all this time later. Highly doubt anything like that would be coming anymore. So just want to throw that out there as well. Now, next, let's quickly talk about this talk that's been circling as of recently in regards to an additional $200 per month raise and or even more than that for all the millions of beneficiaries. So the best information that I can find about all this is coming down to one of 2 things, or possibly even both of these 2 things. And yes, it is programs that we've talked about here previously in the on the channel here, which is the SSI Restoration Act, which, by the way, it wouldn't even be a $200 per month raise, but rather it'd be more like a $300 per month raise to raise all the monthly benefits for SSI beneficiaries up to 100% of the federal poverty line. It would actually be just below $300 per month. So $200 actually wouldn't even be accurate, right? It'd be more like $300, which actually that's not accurate either. It's a little bit less than $300, but $300 is way closer than $200. So that's what I can find about that as well. Next, as of recently as well, we've also heard additional talk about the Social Security 2100 being brought into Congress, into the Social Security into Congress to actually be discussed on the Social Security 2100 as a result of John Larson, who is the architect behind the Social Security 2100. Well, as a result of that, even though that is supposed to be coming out here relatively soon, based on some recent announcements out of John Larson, again, that one does not contain a $200 per month raise. I've looked into it many, many times, and this one does not contain a $200 raise, but rather it does have about a dozen other provisions within it to actually reform Social Security, raise benefits temporarily for about 5 years, and it does do a variety of other things to monthly benefits, again, for about 5 years, and that's all the longer that the provisions within the Social Security 2100 would actually be in effect, about 5 years, but it does not contain a $200 per month raise. So it seems to me, based on the research that I've been doing, everything that I can find about this, it seems that there's maybe some confusion coming out about this, thinking that the Social Security 2100 also contains a $200 per month raise. It doesn't. It does not. I've looked in there. It does not contain a $200 per month raise. So these are the things that I've been finding in regards to this potential raise. When it comes down to it, in the event that they actually do reform SSI, Supplemental Security Income, yes, that actually could pertain to a much higher raise than just $200. Like I said, almost $300 on a monthly basis. But again, that is also something that we're waiting official congressional approval. We're still waiting for Congress to actually move forward with that one, and we're waiting for them to actually get further detail on that. So that has not been approved yet either. However, if it came down to it, if we wanted to talk about a $200 per month raise as that was proposed, say, 2.5 years ago, and if we compared it to, say, the Social Security 2100 or the SSI Restoration Act, these two, as in the Social Security 2100 and the SSI Restoration Act, these have way more likelihood of actually happening versus the $200 per month raise. And again, please don't be upset with me. I'm simply telling you the information based on the research and everything that's been going on as of recently. That $200 per month raise, I know that a lot of us really want it. I know that we've been asking for it for a very long time. Unless it is reintroduced in a separate package or its own standalone bill, or if something really happens here, like an economic hurricane, as we've been hearing about recently out of Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of JP Morgan Bank. If we see something like this coming, then maybe we could see something like this reintroduced at some point. But as of right now, I wouldn't really count on that one happening, okay? And again, please don't be upset with me. I'm just telling you what I'm finding. And again, sometimes I got to come back and tell you things that, we don't always want to hear. But at the end of the day, it's what's actually going on. So anyway, when it comes down to it, the Social Security 2100 would absolutely be a pretty nice thing. It would help out a lot of people. It would reform benefits. It would boost benefits a little bit going forward. But at the end of the day, it certainly wouldn't be a $200 per month raise. And when it comes down to the SSI Restoration Act, yes, once again, that is also a great thing out there that is kind of in the works, but at the same time, it's also kind of stalled at the moment. But there's some promising things out there with those two as well. And, hopefully something else would come out about that. But anyway, for those of you that may have been asking down in the comments section, as well as maybe coming across this information, this is what this is all pertaining to. And of course, at any given moment, the drop of a hat, at any given moment, somebody out of Congress, the administration, anybody could come up with a great idea and say, let's do this to these benefits. Let's send out a one-time check. Let's send out monthly ongoing payments. Let's set up a monthly check program, a guaranteed basic income program, something like this, specifically focused on the low income and the fixed income. At any given moment, any of those things could happen. But again, all we can really do is kind of wait and just see what happens. But as of recently, there's been a lot of things being introduced when it comes down to it in reference to fixed income beneficiaries. Like I said, Social Security, SSDI, retirement, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, seniors, older adults, people with disabilities. But there's been a lot of different pieces of information coming out recently. And at this point, basically all we can really do is just hope that something gets a little bit of traction here. And as the economic situation continues to deteriorate even further, the likelihood of something actually coming out may actually increase, right? Because as the economic situation continues to possibly get worse going forward, maybe somebody will come out and say, hey, what about the fixed income? What about the seniors? What about those individuals receiving SSI or SSDI who need extra money right now? Yeah, these are all really good points. It sure would be nice if somebody in Congress came out and did that because, of course, they have way more authority than unfortunately, than what we do to get anything like this actually passed. Anyway, of course, as we get more details on any of this, I'll be right back here for you, breaking it down, letting you know what is actually going on. I'll make sure to do all the research, as I'm always doing every single day, breaking it down into these short videos to help you out in any way that I can to make sure that you're staying updated with everything going on. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any updates going forward during this very busy time. And as we do get more details on any of this information, of course, I'll be right here for you, letting you know all the details that are hitting the wire. So share the video with your friends, family, social media, subscribe down below, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. I'm helping you out in any way that I can. That is my dedication, and I'm sticking to it. So until next time, enjoy your day. I hope it's a good one, and stay safe out there. I'll catch you again later in the next video. Have a nice afternoon. I'll see you in the next video.